knees and toes. A bit louder. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes. So how do we do it? Eyes, ears, nose, and mouth. All right? Okay. Let's sing again. Head, shoulders, knees and toes. Louder. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes, knees and toes. Now let's do the actions, okay? The head is here, the shoulders are here. All right? Let's do it together. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes. Eyes, ears, nose and mouth. No, ngoja wewe unafanya ears huku chini. Please let us focus, I want us to focus on the part that you're mentioning, all right? Let's do it together. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes. Eyes, ears, nose and mouth. Head, shoulders, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes, knees and toes. Let's try another one. I think that one is very difficult, You remember this other song that you used to do called Father Abraham had many sons? Remember that song? How does it go? Can we do it together? Father Abraham had many sons, so Father Abraham. So let us start together, Just the singing part. Father Abraham. No, I think we can clap, We can clap. Let's go. Father Abraham had many sons, so Father Abraham, I am one of them, and so are you. So let us praise the Lord. All right. Goja kidogo. Yes. So once again, we say that I am from Thai Events, and we do events organizing and management, including corporate events management and team building. So you can always reach out to us for entertainment and corporate events like this, and we are so delighted to be part of the partners that are supporting this event, and we are so glad. So right about now, just where we are, I want us to have just a small activity or a short activity, and they're going to be guided by Joski, who is our hype man and MC. Let's clap for Joski, because whatever you're going to do is very exciting. Asante sana, Joski.
Aya, kauneza nisikia inua mkono juu. Inua mkono juu kauneza nisikia. So, in the spirit of what we were doing, I want us to sing something and we clap as we are singing. Sini sawa? I want us to sing something. Do you remember this song that goes 1, 2, make a circle, 3, 4, a big circle. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Low. The next song, The next song. Wangapi wanakumbuka Brikicho? Brikicho. Nikuje. 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 Aya. The next song. Watoto wangu we. Watoto wangu we. Mimi baba yenu. Tuko na baba mmoja, si ndio? Kwa maandamano ama baba mgani? Aya, let me see if you know this song. Umbe umbe. Umbe umbe. Umbe kanyama. Umbe kanyama. Aui. Aui. Now I want us to try all those things with music. Sini sawa? So before we try it with music, wangapi wanajua kamares, kamares. Kamares, kamares. Na watoto wa kuea wanapenda kujiringa. Wanapenda kujiringa. Wanapenda kujiringa. Wanatoa wes kamares. Wanatoa wes kamares. Wana dunda 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 kadush. Aya, so technical, utanipatia hiyo, the first song na unipatie volume. We want to sing. Are you ready? Look for space and make sure you're clapping. Make sure you're clapping to the rhythm. Are we ready? Aya, let it go, let it go. Aya, tafuta space kidogo. Are you ready? Are you ready? 1, 2, let's go. Watoto wangu we, watoto wangu we, mimi baba yenu, sina nguvu tena ya kuua simba. Simba ni mkali, aliua baba, akaua mama. Sasa torokeni, umbe kanyama, umbe kanyama. Aui, 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 aui. Watoto wangu we, watoto wangu we, mimi baba yenu, sina nguvu tena ya kuua simba. Simba ni mkali, aliua baba, akaua mama. Sasa torokeni, kamares, 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 kamares. Na vijana wa kuea wanapenda kujiringa, wanapenda kujiringa, wanapenda kujiringa. Wanatoa wes kamares, wanatoa wes kamares. Wanadunda dunda, we dunda dunda, dunda dunda kadu. Kill it, kill it. Next song my DJ. Sasa tafuta space, tafuta space. Tumeongeza gia, sawa. Look for space. Your technical. Next song, next song, next song. One pause. 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. Haya, tuko hapo. Hey, 20, 20. Haya, chini, 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 chini. Haya, hapo. Kanyaga, kanyaga tena, kanyaga, kanyaga, kanyaga. Haya, simama. Hey, hey. Haya, inua mkono juu, inua mkono juu. Haya, twende chini, inua juu pole pole, chini, inua juu pole pole, chini. Haya, weka mkono zote mbili juu, mkono zote mbili juu. Haya, tunaenda left, right. Are you ready? Left, right, left, right. Ipo, ipo. Haya, tunadunga, tunadunga, twende. Haya, dunga chini. Haya, dansi ya baba, dansi ya baba. Zunguka. Zunguka.
All right, asante sana, asante sana. Clap for yourselves. Doing a very wonderful job. Thank you so much, Hype Man Joski, and thank you so much the technical team for the wonderful sound. And right about now, I'd like us to move straight into the program. And I'd like to invite the first speaker for this afternoon session, who is the CEO, Institute of Economic Affairs, and that is none other than Mr. Kwame Owino. Let's give him a hand as he comes on stage to do the first presentation. Let's keep clapping as he comes. This is one of the partners that are supporting the National Students Entrepreneurship Summit, and we're so delighted to have you. Karibu sana.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for this opportunity to speak to you, and I'm glad to be here. It's been quite an entertaining start to the afternoon. Now, I was asked to speak to the Kenya Economic Students Association about, to choose a topic, and because you're discussing entrepreneurship, and innovation. I'll speak about what I think, because I'm a student of economics, so I'll speak about how does the theory and the practice of economics situate, or what does economics tell us about the value of entrepreneurship to society. So I have 4 points, and I know because we are under pressure of time, which is also a resource, and I'll be talking about how we manage time this afternoon, because it would be a bit impolite of me to not state that. I think it's important for us to have a conversation based on truth and what it means for entrepreneurs. And time is one of the resources that entrepreneurs must manage very well. I don't think we've done very well today. That's not to cane us, but actually to say that in the future we need to remember that speaking 2 hours after I was supposed to speak is a suggestion of the fact that we struggle with the management of time. And maybe let's absorb that. So I'll speak about what does, coming down to my subject, what does economics say? I work at the Institute of Economic Affairs, which is a think tank or a think shop. We carry out research on topical issues affecting Kenya's economy, the region, and globally, and we create public education around those areas. Now, the subject of economics in the formal sense is stated to have been established by a guy called Adam Smith. And Adam Smith wrote 2 huge tomes. One is, the main one is called basically an inquiry into the nature and causes of the wealth of nations. That's a long way for saying how do countries become prosperous. In that was a huge tick, if I may say so, about what's the state of entrepreneurship. But I'll start by one of the things that he said, which is basically that in book 4, it's one book that is several chapters, so he doesn't talk about chapters, he talks about books. And one of the things that he says in book 4 is that the division of labor, not the extent of the market or the size of the market, is dependent upon the division of labor. So the more division of labor you have, or the more specializations you have within any society, the greater the market will be. And what he's telling you, therefore, is that the more people do specific things excellently, with excellence, the higher the chances that all those will add value to society and create global value, social value. So that's a very important place, because the function of entrepreneurs is actually to ensure that division of labor creates that value which society then appropriates. So if we remember that division of labor is a form of specialization. So our students here, I'm speaking to students of economics, but we're in a university which trains many more people. By choosing subjects or by choosing specializations, you're actually, in a way, confirming Adam Smith's hunch that division of labor is one of the ways in which society manages to do things. And the more division of labor you find in a society, the more prosperous those societies would be. So that comes as a fine kind of thinking, but it is. So if you ask yourself, for instance, going through what does an entrepreneur do? And I'm not going to tell you about what an entrepreneur does, I'm going to tell you how economists interpret what entrepreneurs do. So I have 4 points. 1, which is how division of labor fits in with the theory of entrepreneurship. 2, what does the case of Kenya show? The third one is sometimes one of the things that people tell entrepreneurs is entrepreneurs are people who like to do things, suggesting, because we're in a university, I hear many, I'm sure you've had many people who say, look, instead of going all there to do the thinking and all that, entrepreneurs do things. We want to work with our hands and do things. We have no time for debating and for having a summit such as this to discuss ideas. So I'll push back against that. And I'll finish up with one of the fallacies about entrepreneurship. I call it the capital shortage illusion, which is something we call a fallacy. And why entrepreneurship, in our view at the Institute of Economic Affairs, I think confirmed by some 600, maybe 1,000 years of study, suggests that entrepreneurship is not as much about capital and money as much as the ideas that capital and money comes to leverage. So basically, entrepreneurship is your slingshot. Rather, capital and money is, entrepreneurship is your slingshot, and the shot that you put in to push forward is basically your idea. So the further your idea goes, you confirm its presence, or its validity. So if you think about entrepreneurs, so what does Adam Smith mean by division of labor? Now, the most specialized thing we've seen today, in addition to the fact that most of us read economics and we had this morning with adjudicators. One of the things we've seen here was a gentleman from Thai, right? Events, who was basically managing an event, and another one who was responsible for taking us through the afternoon, trying to get us to cheer up, but also that. The fact that he does that and has trained and put his mind to doing that is division of labor. He has divided his labor away from having to do his own farming, preparing his own clothes and all that. So the more specializations you have within any society, the more perfectly you can do a job, and the more specialized you are in doing it, the greater it is. So right now, of course, we are all after from lunch. The lady who serves lunch came to speak to us. I and my colleagues are here, and she told us that she's actually a service provider. And what she does is basically does events in which she provides the catering for the events. And that's interesting for me as a student of economics, because I asked her, okay, so what are some of the things that you consider? And among the things she considers are supplies, the events, the spaces, the numbers, the menu, and stuff like that. All that specialization. It is not possible, well, some people are very gifted, but it is not possible for more than one person to do the entire growing of the food to making sure that you and I were served. And she's an entrepreneur because she knows what part of the niche to fit in. And by fitting in that niche, she perfects her job every day and makes it clear that all of us had that delicious lunch that you had today. Now, what I'm trying to do here is to tell you that the theories of economics anticipated the fact that social prosperity comes from the fact that you have entrepreneurs within a society. And she's not the only one. I'm sure the guys who fixed our system, we saw the guy who was who gave us this interesting entertainment, but also cheering us up as we were preparing for this, is that. So if you accept the idea, remember that your entrepreneurship is a point in which you ask yourself, what would be my specialization? What would be my specialization? So the specialization of this lady I spoke to is ensuring that the supplies are available in time. She prepares a fantastic meal and is prepared to serve it to 1,000 people or more, as this auditorium has carried today. So it's just that, nothing fanciful. But of course, in that is a lot of work that not each and every one of us could replicate. But that's it. Entrepreneurship is finding out which part of it you will specialize in, what division of labor in that hierarchy of division of labor you'll provide. If you remember, say 4,000 years ago, before all of us were here, certainly, in this space, and remember this place was a swamp and a savanna, right? Probably the people who occupied the space in which we're sitting in today were hunter-gatherers or some hunters. Now, in the hunter-gatherer world, there were less than 10 specializations, because all they did was hunt. Some people went to fetch honey, some people did the cooking and all that. So the more specialization you have in a society, the more luxury you can create. Why? Because you're using society's resources efficiently. So specialization allows you to use society's resources efficiently. So that's the first point. If you come to Kenya, now the estimate of enterprises are something between 2 million to about 10 million enterprises, which is basically people have specialized in doing certain things. Of course, some of them do more or less the same things, probably sell clothes and all that, but it's telling you that each of those enterprises is a person choosing to specialize and occupy that hierarchy to satisfy the hierarchy of needs. Remember, an entrepreneur responds to price, because their price is what? It's the equivalent of voting. When you're buying something from somebody on the basis of price, you're voting for the food, you're voting for the shoes, you're voting even for the education that a university such as this provides. So that's what an entrepreneur responds to. An entrepreneur is asking you, vote for my business. Vote for my business with your money. We're not only voting with our mouths, we are voting with our money. We are saying, because there's this series of entrepreneurs out there, and because we are doing the purchasing, we will respond to who provides us with the best quality, the best quantity, everything else, conditional on the price that we can provide. So that's basically it. Now in Kenya, some surveys show that we have up to 6 million different enterprises, 6 million of different kinds, from farms, doing small and doing farming, all the way back to very sophisticated enterprises such as the one in which we are seated, to all the others that produce, whether it's the communications gadgets that you use, or the communications equipment that we use, all your communications, whether it's a SMS or whatever it is that you do, all that functioning is one enterprise or the other. There are almost 6 million of them in Kenya, perhaps more. Why? It's telling us that Kenyans or people are responding to their specialization. Whether it's a bank, all the way down. And you must see an enterprise as anything, from a bank all the way down to somebody in a farm who today is probably harvesting or preparing to cultivate something which in 2.5 months or 3 months or 4 months perhaps, they will be pushing back into the market, asking you to vote for them with your wallet. That's what it is. So there's 6 million of them. But what's the problem? So what this tells you is that Kenyan youth are not non-entrepreneurs. They actually have one form of enterprise or the other. Many of them are in the category of small and medium-sized. Very small and medium-sized. And that's not a problem at all, because in all societies, including the most prosperous societies globally today, I'm going to speak about all those countries, fancy countries that we all know about, have higher incomes than we do, most enterprises are actually managed by youthful people, and most enterprises are actually small and medium-sized. So our question in Kenya is we have the very highly recognized enterprises which are large, and if I ask any of you to mention enterprises that are quoted in the Nairobi Securities Exchange, you'll have them like this, including those that you saw. And then we have very small enterprises that are managed sometimes as family enterprises, 1 or 2 people, providing one or the same good, and facing competition from each other. So that is the spectrum, from very small ones all the way to a few big ones. And the catch is to find a happy center where you have small and micro enterprises, tend to be more than one person or a little bit about, adding value. And what are they doing? Ensuring that people cooperate in an economic enterprise that creates value every day, facing competition and creating value on a day-by-day basis. One, we don't have to talk about what it does in terms of employment. We don't have to talk about what it does for incomes for people, what it does in terms of generating new ideas through innovation. We don't have to talk about what they do on the other side for government, which collects taxes from successful enterprises. So all of us have an interest in successful enterprise, right? And that's what an entrepreneur does. Basically finding those opportunities and fitting within those niches to provide that value, either working alone or working in concert with other people. What are they putting together? They're putting together some resources in order to activate that. So that's it. So there's 6 million. If you ask me, one of the things that you could think about is the more entrepreneurship a society has, the more successful it is going to be, because it is ensuring the division of labor and ensuring that the resources are there. The resources are applied in the most efficient way, and receiving feedback from people who vote with their wallets by what they purchase and the other. My third point, I think because you're all students of universities, economics and all that, there are many people who run businesses and they're not economists, and that's perfectly okay, because division of labor does not say you need to be necessarily a formal qualification. You must have a formal qualification in economics. But the economists, for understanding what their cost base is. So if you go down to small and large enterprises, people tend to have a view about what kind of factors affect their businesses. So they understand that inflation, for instance, affects the ability to sell. Why? Because customers, or the people who vote for them, and I'll use that for the time being, right, respond to an increase in prices. So people want to be able to use the same 1,000 shillings to buy more goods or a similar amount of goods. And if there's a change, it affects their budgets almost immediately, and they respond to that. So entrepreneurs are in that very, very, very volatile space. So use that word. What that means is, I told you already that there are 6 million or so enterprises in Kenya, and some more are being started today. What that means that entrepreneurship is a very cerebral, right? You know what that means? It is a thinking person's space. Why? You think and respond to competition on an everyday basis. And one of the ways to illustrate that is basically, if you look at the employment numbers in Kenya, there are about 3 million Kenyans who have a formal job, who wake up at 8 o'clock and 9 and receive a pay at the end of the month on a payroll. But they're not the only people who are employed. We use the word formal sector. And then we use the other word that I'm uncomfortable with, but which is in the literature called informal sector, for other people who have, those are the jobs, right? Where basically they're very nimble, they do what's required by the market, and they respond on a day-to-day basis. Some of them are brokers and everything else. Now, you find, I have spoken to somebody who, one, works in Nairobi as a hawker, for instance. So one of the things that he does, he sells newspapers in the morning, right? Because as people go to work, obviously that's when you can meet your people in the street and sell newspapers to them. He supplies a few offices as well. Two, during lunch hour, because he knows kids are going back or schools are open and everything else, right? He has a small ice cream place where he goes to a specific school somewhere in Westlands and does that by scooping ice cream for kids and stuff. So he's selling confectionery, selling candy and confectionery. And then in the evening, he knows people are running back home, so at that time he either sells plastic toys for kids who are going home, or sells magazines, which you all go home as we are unwinding to buy. So this is a guy who's in 3 different markets. 3 different markets. Telling you that he is responding to the needs. Remember, and because I started by speaking about time, he's aware of the time. He knows it's useless to try and sell somebody a newspaper at 2 p.m. He knows it. It's useless. And that should emphasize to us that if entrepreneurs know about time, students of economics and KESA should understand time and its management even more. Yes, I intended that to be painful. I hope it is. We must understand how to manage time even more. We cannot have a session that was meant to be at 2:30, at 5:30, and look like it's okay. It is not. It costs some people money and business opportunity. So please take it kindly. But re-emphasize that these people know they've sliced the day into 3 different parts, and in each point of the day, there's a different demand structure, and that's the one that they're serving. It's a very sophisticated. Entrepreneurs are very sophisticated. The final one is this. Whenever I speak to students, or people in general, whenever I speak to people, and you ask them, what can be done to make young people better entrepreneurs? Or what can be done to make entrepreneurship more, elevate the level of entrepreneurship, and to actually create a more stable business structure? What do they tell you? Usually they tell you, we just need more capital. And that's very easy to say, and maybe that's so. But the economics literature says that in a country such as Kenya, to state that capital is what entrepreneurs need, this is a sensitive point, even politically, harks back to the fallacy of capital shortage. The fallacy of shortage of capital. It's an illusion. If you see the gentleman that I've spoken to you, and that's a live flesh and blood person that I talked to you about those 3 cycles in the morning, right? Right? His problem isn't as much capital, because he supplies very, very small niches of time. Then what? Enablers that come from securing his property rights. His biggest risk is somebody else changing the structure, doing some other thing, or maybe even someone else doing something that makes all of us not to go to the city at a given time, and obviously all the investment that is done for that day. He sells very time-sensitive products, newspapers in the morning, confectionery in the middle of the day, and in the evening, obviously, magazines and stuff like that. And all 3 are required for the viability of this business to maintain. So if you ask him, he'd actually want less of disruptions that take place in the city, whether for political reasons or not, whether it's because there's an enforcement, whether it's because there's no water and stuff like that. So what he needs brings me back to economics again, which is what? Public goods, which are goods that only government can provide. Safety, right? Safety, stability, the ability to accept payments, and the fact that somebody will not run away with the stuff that he has. So that's how government can help, which tells me that it is far easier to actually throw money at a problem. And if you're a student of economics, you know that money is itself a measure of value, But it is not often the thing that if you push into a new system necessarily that is efficient, more money, it usually solves the problem. So as I conclude, remember I said 4 things. Entrepreneurship, coming from the economics justification, 1 is about specialization and Adam Smith, division of labor, the extent of the market. And what an entrepreneur does is expands the number of markets that are available in a society. 1. 2, we looked at how many businesses are there and why they are in the space that they are. Many of them are small and micro. They don't live for too long. Raising their longevity is one of the biggest things that you need to do. The third point was entrepreneurship is about ideas. It's a battle of ideas. You have competition and all that. So don't ever let anybody tell you that entrepreneurship requires, I hear people talk about passion and guts. Sorry, you need to think a little bit about what you need to do. And finally, do not succumb to the capital shortage illusion. Thank you very much.
Right, thank you so much, Mr. Kwame Owino, the CEO of Institute of Economic Affairs. Let's give him another round of applause as we invite next speaker. But just before then, I know the adjudicators, our judges are getting ready to give us the results of what has been transpiring in the morning hours, and really look forward to Mr. Kwame, just a minute, Mr. Kwame. I'd like you to come on stage for a very short presentation, kindly. And I also want to invite the KESA team to come on stage and do the presentation for Mr. Kwame. Thank you so much for the support that you've given to KESA. President KESA, please rush to the stage. We shall have just a short presentation with a gift. We can give him a round of applause as he gets the appreciation from the KESA team. We really appreciate the support that the Institute of Economic Affairs has given to KESA and to other faculties and departments doing economics and business studies in the country. Thank you so much. All right, thank you so much. The next speaker, just before the adjudicators, is a friend of mine and a friend of KESA. He has been very supportive and instrumental in supporting KESA events and KESA initiatives, as well as other economics associations. And I'm so delighted to invite the CEO of DTE Consultancy. Would you want to clap and give a round of applause to Sam Ogola as he comes to make a short presentation, and then we shall hear from the adjudicators. You can clap a little bit more as he gets to the stage to do just brief remarks. Karibu sana.
Okay, sabari zenu. Yeah, so it's nice to meet you here. Can you use this one? Yeah, so it's nice to meet you here. So I'm Samuel Ogola. I'm the founder of DTE. So we are one of the partners here. So I've been working with students for for now around 2 years. I've talked to so many universities, and so far I'm seeing there is good progress. Yeah, so I'll not talk much today. So first, I must thank the KESA team. We've been together for so long, and they have done a lot of things. I've seen them doing a lot of things. So thank you, KESA team, led by Victor. And then also I want to also thank the choir team also. We were here yesterday, and they were really doing a lot to make sure that this event is a success. So thank you also the team from choir. Yeah, so always as a company ourselves, we mostly focus on how to really give the students the skills. So that is mostly on the soft skills and mostly on the research skills. So we've been doing a lot in the trainings. In mostly these softwares like Starter, we have done SPSS, we've done R, and of course Python and others. So our aim has been to impact the life of students through their soft skills. And so far, we've been partnering with KU. I've gone to Massachusetts University. I've gone to UON. I've gone to MKU. I've gone to TUG. I've gone to Kabianga, and so forth. So far, we want to make sure that these students must be ready for the job market. And just to finish, they say that gown bila connection ni kama leso kuu, ndio? Sema gown bila connection ni kama leso kuu. So make sure that when you are here, you get time to interact with different people. We have CEOs here. We have your fellow students here. Make sure to at least talk to someone and get their phone numbers. I know maybe men might be interested in ladies, but not necessarily. You can, a man can be interested in a man for business, and of course to get more skills. So as an entrepreneur, I always tell people one thing. If you want to know that you can be an entrepreneur, it's just simple. If you can't sleep for less than 10 hours, then you are not an entrepreneur. If you are the one who sleeps from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m., you are not an entrepreneur. If you are someone who can take any risk, you are not an entrepreneur. If you are someone who is not ready to sacrifice everything for the cause of action, then you can't be an entrepreneur. But the journey of entrepreneurship is always very interesting. Most people think that when we are CEOs, we work with billions. It's not always the case. So being a CEO or being a business person or being an entrepreneur is not just money, but they say that when you are an entrepreneur or business person or a CEO, the life of many companies depend on you. So when we walk around, we work with so many responsibilities. But it's a very good journey, although with a lot of challenges. But I would encourage each and every one of us to think of being a business person. Just think of doing anything. Just try being a business person. You will never be the same again. Just in the hall, how many people want to be a CEO in the future? How many people want to be a CEO in the future? Or managing director? Or CEOs in the future? Huh? How many people don't want to be a CEO in the future? Or a business person? None. Yeah, so at least try and do a business. Or try and be an entrepreneur if you can. It's a good journey, and it's always amazing how you learn from that journey. Okay, otherwise, thank you so much, and have a nice evening.
All right, thank you so much, Samuel. And in line with let me see again, how many of us would like to be CEOs or entrepreneurs in future? How many of us would like to access such an opportunity to become or to get training and skills in business management and entrepreneurship? How many of us will be interested? All right. So I have a very, just before we do the presentation to DTE, I'd like to just challenge you. All of us have smartphones. If you have a smartphone and you have internet, please get it out. I want to give an opportunity to a few of us to attend an upcoming entrepreneurship summit organized by Thai Events in April. And I would like to see how many of us we can support to that event. As I do that, I'd like to invite Mr. Sam Ogola on stage to come and receive a short presentation of an appreciation from KESA. So you have your smartphone? Okay, so on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, and also on YouTube, we are available as Thai Events. Thai Events is written as TIE Events. So like that page, then I'd like you just make a post about today's event, the National Students Entrepreneurship Summit, tag TAI Events, and I think we shall have about 3 of us sponsored to that event, and we shall be very excited to have you. So like the page, tag the page, and then we shall get assistance, and we shall do a presentation of the 3 people who we shall sponsor to the event. Thank you so much. That is DTE, represented by the CEO, Mr. Sam Ogola. Thank you so much for supporting KESA. And let's give them a round of applause as they exit the stage. And at this juncture, I'd like to invite the Chief Adjudicator, Mr. Gabriel Dinda, the CEO Writers Guild, to come and take us through the next part of the program, which is announcement of results and declaring how many of us won for today and how many of us will win in future. So we are very happy, and I'd like to recognize KUESA. KUESA is represented here, the team from Kenyatta University. Yes, the team from Kenyatta University and many others. Thank you so much. Karibu-san.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you very much. I'm here on behalf of the judges to present the results of the presentations that we had earlier. But before that, I would wish to ask my colleague, who is the only one remaining. We have 4 judges, Governor Ndiritu Murithi, Sister Elizabeth Nziwa, and Cyprian Ondiba. So Cyprian is going to speak on behalf of the judges, and then I'll give a summary and then give the results. So Cyprian.
Thank you very much, Bona Gabriel. Good afternoon. Is it afternoon or evening? This was supposed to end at 1:30. It's now almost 5:30. All right, great presentations, brilliant minds, I can say, brilliant ideas. And I want to speak about 2 presentations. And before I say that, I have to say that this is my university. I was here in the year 2008 to 2012. And I'm sure some of you here are my students. I teach statistics. But out of statistics, 2 comments on the students who want to manufacture. I'm surprised that you people did not invite Kenya Bureau of Standards to this forum. At least one person could have come here from the management to advise the students matters manufacturing and certification. But Tukabete National Poly hand wash project, brilliant idea, but that's something that is already existing in the market. If you can actually compete with whatever is existing in the market, you need to see the certification body. That's Kenya Bureau of Standards, to be able to sell in supermarkets and in the market to compete with the rest. Kabarak University, conversion of grass into edible starch. Brilliant stuff, amazing, well done. Please make sure that we expedite the process to have your S-mark ready. I work for Kenya Bureau of Standards, and that's why I'm advising you like that. One of our core values at Kenya Bureau of Standards, I'm sorry I'm not going to speak on behalf of the managing director because of 1 or 2 reasons, because you didn't invite us officially. But what I want to say is that KEB's activities are, one of the KEB's activities is to promote economic and social development while ensuring protection of the environment. Please consider that. Come to Kenya Bureau of Standards and have your product certified so that you can compete with the rest. Thank you very much and have a good evening.
Thank you very much, Bwana Cyprian. So we were looking at different things in judging or in ranking the different presentations. And even before we go into that, I would love to ask you to clap for everyone who took part in the presentations. I don't know if you noticed, but during the presentations, there were some moments where we were consulting as the judges because they were extremely good and really well thought out, and that is something that is really commendable. So let the ranking not in any way distract you or discourage you from the innovations and the ideas that you have. May you build them and grow them so that you can scale them up and get something of it. So as I mentioned, this, the judgment that, or the ranking that will be read here is for the 4 judges, an average of the 4. So we're looking at different things. One of them, the ranking was divided into 2, Section A and Section B. In Section A, we're looking things like the overview of the whole presentation, the identification of the market gaps, viability of the solution that is presented, risk analysis of the solution, and the cohesiveness of the presentation of the idea, and the quality of the report that is given. That includes sources of data and arrangement of them, etc. Then in Section B, we are looking at things like the gaps that have been identified, whether they have been clearly outlined. We're also looking at the main issues or the considerations of the models that have been presented. Then also looking at the detailed course of action. This was where the rubber met the road, where what you are suggesting or the idea or the innovation that you are coming up with to sort the problem that you've identified. So that was also very key. In fact, it had the highest marks, 20 marks. Then also the team involvement. You noticed in some areas the teams were very cohesive. They would come here and it looked like there was some rhythm, that there was some order. So we also looked at the teamwork because we recognize that rarely does an idea depend on one person for it to flourish. Then also the quality of the slides or the presentations. That's why we are very keen that each of the groups had presentations that, or the audiovisuals that backed up their presentation. And also the ability to answer questions that were asked, that is the communication skills. Yeah? And the communication skills, we are looking at even the non-cues, the other things related to even how you presented yourself here. You notice that some teams were well presented, they were in uniform, but some teams were, they didn't do as much. So these are the results. We had 14 universities taking part, and the total marks over 100. The lowest had 49.25. So I would read them from the lowest to the highest, but we'll take a break at number 4 so that we can give special attention to number 3. Now, just before that, we put together our comments as the judges, and I summarize them as follows. 1, the simplest definition of innovation is something that was given that when you listen to it, you get to that moment where you get to a point where you say, so that's it. Yeah. Well, I don't know if you got at that point in any of the presentations that was presented here, but I heard, and you helped us a lot during the judging or during the adjudication process. Sometimes people would come to present and then you laugh or you make some comments. There are some times when a team would come to present and then some people would get to that moment. So there were 2 teams where people got to that moment, and you'd see them at the top. When making presentations, please always make sure that the problem is known at the beginning and the solution is known at the beginning. I don't know if you remember the governor asking at the end of the presentation, he asked, so what is the idea here? That means we've gone throughout the whole presentation not knowing what we are talking about. So make it very clear at the beginning and to the end that this is the problem and this is how we are solving it. So make the problem known and show how to solve it. That is a comment that was shared by the judges. And then make it simple. Make it simple. You would notice that one of the groups here, made it very complicated. Thanks be to God that you're economic students, so you'd understand some of the terms. But remember, some of these ideas or some of these innovations, we are taking them to the common man. So make it as simple as possible that anyone can understand it. And then the last one, And one of the teams did, I would not wish to mention names at this point, maybe you can start guessing, but one of the teams did something very nice that you need to copy or you need to do next time. In writing, I am a writer from Writers Guild, as was mentioned. Could pass by our tent outside there and talk to our team. There is a point in writing that when you write, try as much as possible to show, don't tell. Yeah. Show, don't tell. One of the teams gave us even samples, so as they were presenting, there were samples that we could see. That's a very good way to make your point known. And then the last is try always to make it simple. Every time when you're dealing with something complex, the best way is to handle it in a simple manner. So try to make your presentation simple as possible. There are also other things that possibly you could try next time. Be as diverse as possible. You can even come and show. The process of showing could even mean you can come here and use music and dance, because the idea is to show. The idea is to give this thing life, because some of the ideas that were being presented were quite complicated. So you give it life to people. So thank you very much for that. So maybe you could take you can be keen on that for the next awards. The suggestions from the judge, the panel, one is to distribute the award. The CEO of Optiven offered to give the winning team 50,000 shillings. We are suggesting, as the judges, that considering the good work that has been done by the top three, the award can be divided so that the top three could get a bit of it. But that we leave to the organizers. And then next time, maybe the coordination between the visual and the presentation can be a bit better or can be tighter so that we don't waste time. Yeah, we noticed that there were a number of times when we wasted a bit of time. So I will read from number 14 and then you clap for them, okay? So number 14, we have Moi University. We got, yes. Just for the purposes of time, we can just clap once. They got 49.25 out of 100. Then number 13, we had University of Nairobi on the shoes project. Yeah, I hope you remember the shoes project from the University of Nairobi. And then number 12, University of Nairobi had 50.25. Then we had Kabianga, University of Kabianga as number 12, 54%. Then number 11, we had Kabete National Polytechnic. Thank you. 58. Then number 10, we had Maseno University on the project of Chlorosolar project. That is 59.75. Then number 9, we had Maseno University on the integrated poultry farming project. We had 61 marks. Then number 8, we had Mount Kenya University at 62. Then number 7, we had the hosts, Catholic University of East Africa, with 65 points. And then number 6, we had University of Nairobi again, their money project at 65.75%. And then number 5, we had Taita Taveta University, 66 points, 66%. We would have loved, just a light comment, we would have loved Taita Taveta University to present in Kiswahili next time. You can consider that. We'd really love to see economic concepts presented in Kiswahili. All right, so we go to number 4. Would you take a guess which number 4 is? Okay, number 4 is Laikipia University. Thank you. That is at 68.5. And then now top 3. I think now you can already be guessing using the elimination method. Possibly have eliminated, and then now you remain with 3. So now, maybe the organizers can, the gifts. Okay, so maybe you can take a breather. Congratulate those who took part. Oh, number 4. Okay, number 4, the team from Laikipia University, please come. And as we clap for them. Please come, the whole of you, the whole team, please come and receive your trophy. Well done on the project that you had. I hope you will scale it up, and hopefully it will be something that will be scaled. So Laikipia University, please. Laikipia University. The ESA team. Well done. So please, you can go and receive. Bana Cyprian, you may join them. Please help me clap for them. It's quite a task. Well done. Thank you. Thank you very much. And so to number 3. So here I will ask you to clap in. Yes. Okay. So for number 3, I would ask you to clap in 2 ways. So we clap with our hands and then we do this for number 3, okay? So number 3 is University of Nairobi, the Half-Lab project. The Half-Lab project, quite practical and relatable. Many of you could see the passion in them. In fact, one of the presenters mentioned that it's from very far, so he may have experienced the problem. I think that was Abubakar, no? He said it's from very far, so well done. The University of Nairobi Half-Lab project. They got 75.75. Number 2, please take a guess. Number 2. All right, thank you. So I would wish to ask Mr. Mudhumi, the patron of Queer, to come and award number 2. So number 2 is Kenyatta University. Kenyatta University at 77%. I don't know whether those are celebrating for Kenyatta University or the one remaining, because now you can use. Well done, Kenyatta University. You are up. I hope it is scaled up. And I hope it works. Well done. Okay, well done. So now we go to number 1. And I would ask Mr. Ogola, please come. And okay. I would wish, Mr. Ogola, please come on stage so that you can award number 1. But I would also wish to open this chance, possibly any of our guests who is still around, please come so that you can help us award number 1. Notably, Mr. Eugene, please join Mr. Ogola on stage so that you can help us award number 1. Now, the number 1 has a history, Last year, in their school, in their home ground, in their university, there was a national debate, and they were last.
Number one from the bottom.
They were number one from the bottom. But today, they are number one here. I think. So that already tells you something, that there is a chance for everyone. The sun shines for everyone, okay? So number one at 83.25, Kabarak University. Kabarak University, well done. Your project was simple and really well explained. And when they were presenting, please clap for them, clap for them. Clap for them as they come. I wish the DJ was able to drop something. My sincere apologies that we didn't give the lecturers who accompany the students to come and join them in the stage as they get the accolade. So please, the lecturers who are here, not just from Kabarak, but even from other teams, please join us on stage so that we can award and appreciate and congratulate Kabarak University. Clap for them as they come. Well done, well done, well done. Please welcome the lecturers and good job on the efforts that you make to bring economics to life. So the team were the people who gave us samples. So as they were presenting, we could see, we could visualize what they were talking about. So next time, please remember to show, don't tell, or show as you tell, okay? So well done, Kabarak team. Come clap for them, please. Well done, well done. Well done. I would wish to ask two people from the team. One of them, they would choose one of the people from the team to just give a brief address to just recognize that they've received the award and also give their teacher a chance to just mention something. So anyone from the team, who is representing the team? Yes.
I was about to say praise God. Hello, how are you? When it comes to innovation, I'd like to encourage students that you don't have to have the necessary skills so as to come up with an idea. Like here, not all of us are scientists, but we thought of an idea, we sourced out, we made many international calls so that you can be able to like break the code, like to get a solution. So you might have an idea, maybe you're in economics, you're in business, but you might have an IT idea. You can source out a person from the IT department to help you. Now we're really glad and we're really happy, and we thank Kesa and Kwea for hosting us and for this great award. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And the teacher, the lecturer.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, judges, students, and other guests, thank you very much for the warm welcome. Kesa, thank you very much for the initiative organizing such a forum. My name is Wilson Balongo. I'm a lecturer at Kabarak University and also the coordinator for innovation and business incubation. Before I say something, I'm with my colleague here. I'll say her name.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lydia Ngubia, also a lecturer at Kabarak University, and we are happy to be here. All protocols observed. Good evening, and thank you very much.
Okay, as I said, Kesa, thumbs up for you for organizing such a forum. You know, right now, everywhere, people are talking about innovation, and innovation is just not about being in STEM alone. Innovation is everywhere. You can't be an economist, an accountant, IT. For example, you'll be surprised that the person who came up with the idea of Please Call Me was an accountant. So as Faith said, once you have an idea, just look for the people with the technical skills in that area, give them directions, the idea still belongs to you. Now to the students, upon your graduation, you'll have your academic certificate. How are you going to be different in the world? Unless you're innovative. Remember, it's innovation that made us survive the pandemic, COVID-19. It's only innovation that can make us go through the current economic status that we are in. So I beseech you that continue the same spirit. Let us be innovators, and thank you very much. For my team, asanteni sana. For KU who are here, thank you. And then when we were last, by the judges, when you have visitors, unawachia chakula. Ukienda kwao, unakula yote. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Well done. Thank you very much. So you may receive your gift as you clap. And please, let's stand up. Let's give them a standing ovation as they receive their gift. Not too much to ask, as you clap. Thank you very much. KU, you'd love to take a picture with the winning team so that you tell them that you're preparing to dislodge them next time. So KU, please come and have the picture with the Kabarak University team. A picture with the first runners up. Okay, so thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of the session. We are happy that we did this together. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. So that is number 1 and number 2. Okay, is constant. That is KU and Kabarak. And congratulations to Kabarak for coming from last in the last event to first. Whatever you did, and the God you pray to, we pray that you can bless the rest of us. And now at this juncture, I'd like to congratulate everyone who participated in the presentations and in the pitches. Ensure that you keep working on your idea, and we look forward to having you win even more in KESA events and other events. So at this point, I'd like to invite heads of associations, starting with KUESA from Kenyatta University. Please rush on stage. When I call your institution, please rush to the stage. UON, ECOSA, JQuat, Machakos, ZTEC, please rush to the front. ZTEC, Moi, MKU, Maseno, representing Esamu, Kabianga, Taita Taveta, Kabarak, Multimedia, Strathmore, Kwea, Tuk, Kabete, Egerton, ICS. Please, the heads of those associations, please rush to the stage. We have a presentation to you and a gift from KESA. Please rush to the stage, and let's have all of you standing at the front. From all the universities represented, those that I've mentioned, these are heads of associations, and we're happy that you're providing leadership to the team. So I'll just call you by your institution, and then you shall collect the gift from KESA, one by one. KESA team, please rush to the front. SecGen, please rush to the stage and help us with presenting these gifts. We shall start with ICS. ICS. We can clap for them for representing the institution and making it to this event. Egerton University. Egerton University. Egerton. Okay, we move to Kabete. Kabete. Dedan Kimathi University, please also rush to the stage. Technical University of Kenya, TUK. Followed by Quer. TUK, Quer. Then we move to Strathmore. Quer. Quer. Catholic University of Eastern Africa. That is the team. Which team? That is Quer. Strathmore. Strathmore, please step forward. Strathmore. Multimedia University. Multimedia. Followed by Kabarak. Kabarak University. Dedan Kimathi University. Dedan Kimathi. Taita Taveta. Taita Taveta. Dedan Kimathi, if you've not made your way to the stage, please come forward. Taita Taveta. Then next you go to Kabianga University. Kabianga. Step forward after Taita Taveta. Kabianga. That is Multimedia University. Kabianga. Kabianga. Maseno. Kabianga. Okay, next. Maseno University. Mount Kenya University. Mount Kenya University. Mount Kenya University. Followed by Muesa from Moi University. After Muesa, we go to Zitech University. Machakos. Machakos. Okay, Machakos University. Followed by JKUAT. Followed by JKUAT. University of Nairobi. UON. That is the University of Nairobi, followed by Kenyatta University, Kuesa. Award to the chairman, Kuesa. All right, thank you so much. Let's clap for the heads of associations. Laikipia University is also here. Laikipia University. Chuka University. Dedan Kimathi University, around? Dedan Kimathi University? Okay. Okay. Dedan Kimathi. Any other university that has not been represented on stage? Everyone is represented. Any other university that has not been mentioned? St. Paul's University. Where is the head of association from St. Paul's University? Chairperson? St. Paul's University and University of Embu, or Embu University, please rush to the front. Embu University, Laikipia University? St. Paul's University? Okay, represented. And then we shall pause for one photo before we move to the next part of the presentation. Kenya College of Accountancy, that is KCA. KCA. Will be presented with a gift from KESA. And we shall do this photo representing associations that we are heading. That is KCA University. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Have a seat. Let's give them another round of applause as they take their seats. And as we also move to another very special appreciation that we like to make to the people who have made this event a success from the service point or at the level of service. And I'd like to recognize ambassadors who have represented KESA and championed this event. I'd like to invite Juliet Owino from Kenyatta University, Vincent. Okay, you can clap for her as she comes on stage. Juliet Owino from Kenyatta University, Vincent from Chuka University, and Paul Muguro from Maseno University. Juliet Owino from KU, Vincent from Chuka, and Paul Muguro from Maseno. Please come forward. Juliet Owino, Vincent Gishonge from Chuka, and Paul Muguro. All right, in the meantime, I'd like to get the representative from Thai Events, Boniface. Thank you so much. So we promised something as Thai Events, and I think we have preliminary results for at least 2 people who have been selected to be sponsored for the Nairobi Startup Entrepreneurship Summit. And I'd like the program manager at Thai Events, Boniface, to announce the 2 people as we also open the opportunity to the rest of us who are still posting and representing your university. Boniface.
Thank you. We have Ephraim Kioko.
Ephraim Kioko. Where is Ephraim Kioko? Ephraim Kioko. Next.
And Claire Kenyani.
Claire. Where is Claire? All right. So you'll get your ticket to attend the Nairobi Startup Entrepreneurship Summit, courtesy of Thai Events. Let's clap for Claire. Congratulations.
And Zuleha Harunani.
Zuleha from Moi University. All right, let's clap for her, for Zuleha at the back there. Congratulations. So the number, you can give us the number to call, or you can send an SMS to 0705 0705. This is where you send your name and details for your ticket. And the rest of us, if you have any inquiry about our events, and also if you like support with any events that you're organizing in your institutions, this is the number to contact TAI Events, 0705 0705 011 793. 0705 011 793. Thank you so much. Thank you, Boniface. These are our top ambassadors, and I'd like to invite the KESA team to come and present the gifts to them, starting with Juliet from Kenyatta University. Let's celebrate Juliet again as she receives her gift for being a top ambassador for KESA. And yes, she's the top female ambassador. All right, that is the top female ambassador, and the top male ambassador is Vincent Gichonge from Chuka University. Let's clap for Vincent. That is Vincent from Chuka University. Congratulations, and thank you for the wonderful service. And now we also have the best alumni ambassador of KESA, and that is Paul Muguro. Let's clap for Paul Muguro for also giving back to this noble cause. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You can have one photo together. We also want to appreciate the lecturers and faculty present. So all the lecturers and faculty present, please come on stage. From the various universities, please come on stage. Faculty and lecturers from different universities, please come to the stage. Let's give them a hand of appreciation as they come to the stage for another short presentation. So the ones who are coming on stage are representatives of faculty and lecturers from various universities. Stepping forward, just please come forward for a presentation and appreciation for the wonderful job that you've done to mentor the associations and business and economic students across the universities and colleges, and we really appreciate your support. I'd like to invite the KESA chairman and executive to come and present the token of appreciation to the lecturers and faculty from different universities. Please step forward, not in any order. All right, let's clap for the first one. All right, thank you so much. Any other lecturer who's not yet come to the stage, please make your way forward as we draw close to the end of today's event, which has been brought to you by the Kenya Economic Students Association in partnership with economic students associations in different universities, different partners including TAI Events, Institute of Economic Affairs, CASNEB, Optiven, Writers Guild, and many other organizations that have been represented here today. Also, in appreciation of the guests that have spoken here, the CEO, DTE Consultancy, still present, Madam Shalene Ruto, who has left, Mr. Steve Obuogo, who has also left, the Governor, CBK, other guests, leaders, and student leaders. We really appreciate you for making this a wonderful event, and also, without forgetting TAI Events, for supporting with organizing the event and also branding this event. Thank you so much. So 2 more lecturers. Then I'll request that you step forward after the last one for one group photo. Let's step forward and have one group photo. Then we shall have the vote of thanks as we draw closer to the end of the event. I'd like to invite MC Joski from Thai Events to also come closer for the last part of today's event. Come closer to the stage. These are lecturers representing different faculty and universities and colleges across the country. Thank you so much. Let's give them another round of applause as they exit stage. And we'd also like to recognize another ambassador from the Catholic University of Eastern Africa. That is Miss Rita, the chairperson from Kwea. Rita, wherever you are. Rita, please come forward. As I also invite the chairman or the president, Kenya Economic Students Association, to come and do the last part of the event, that is the vote of thanks, as we draw closer to the end of the event. That is representing Kwea, representing Rita from Kwea. All right, at this juncture, I'd like to invite the President, Kenya Economic Students Association, to do the final remarks and the vote of thanks. Thank you so much. My name is Eugene Mushai, and it's been an honor to host the afternoon session. I'm very delighted. Thank you so much. Victor?
All right, before Eugene goes, it's also in order that he receives an award. I'll invite any KESA executive here in to come and help me award Mr. Eugene Mushai, the CEO of Thai Events. Thank you very, very much. We've come to the home stretch of today's event, and I'd love to call my executives and colleagues at KESA. If you can hear my voice, kindly, from the Vice Chair to the Secretary General to the Organizing Secretary to the Communications and Marketing to the Chief, please come forward. It is in order that you also see them and get to hear from them in a few minutes. So please come from Moses, the Organizing Secretary. Please come. Let's appreciate Moses as he comes. Thank you so much, Moses. Please say something to thank you as they come. Just come, please. Where is John? Okay. We have a section of the colleagues and executive at KESA. They've been doing a lot of work, a lot that perhaps I could not do alone. We've been doing together, and we appreciate the work they've been doing. And we also appreciate the work that you've been doing at the different associations in the different universities. And we hope to foster the relationship in the future to have even more better and learning activities and events. I want to invite them, perhaps 30 seconds or a minute each, to say something as we come to a close of our event this evening. Let's start with our Organizing Secretary. Karibu sana.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Moses Moshiri Mwangi. I'm a student of Economics and Statistics at the University of Nairobi. I'm happy to see all of you here and the respect you accorded to us for accepting the invite. We are grateful for that. And we also would like to urge, even as we close this event today, there are more opportunities, others global, others African, that push for innovative ideas. And so in that line, we are asked, each and every one of us, that idea that is in your mind, try and actualize it. Because at the end of the day, we are all a piece of a puzzle, and each of us must try to fit where they belong, otherwise the society will be unfit. Asanteni sana. God bless you.
Yes, thank you so very much, Bwana Organizing Secretary. Yeah, my name is Eric Okwayo. I'm the Secretary General of KESA. I'm glad that for you having find time to be part of us today. We look forward for a more of such insightful events. And I would like very to appreciate all the institutions that have taken part in this. We are having more and more and more to hold. So yes, I wish to welcome the treasurer to also come and say a word before we unveil what next, because I know majority are asking now, now that we've had this, the National Entrepreneurship Summit, what is now next for KESA? So we have many things in store that we are just about to share. So karibu bwana Chief Finance Officer, Madam.
Thank you, Bwana SG. Good evening, everyone. I'm Elizabeth Adongo Koch, KESA's Chief Financial Officer. Mine is just to thank you for making this day a success. We wouldn't have had a successful day without you, and I continue to urge you, let's continue moving together in unity of purpose. Thank you.
I know perhaps some of us might be wondering what next. What next is what we are going to unveil to you. Next week on Thursday, 2nd of March 2022, we will all again convene at Kenyatta University for the 5th East African Economics Symposium. And I don't know, KU, if you're ready to host us again. We are happy that they'll be hosting the 5th Economic Symposium again. After the 5th Economic Symposium, we'll communicate what's next. It will be in a different region now. But from tonight, we are launching something for all of us. If you're keen, then you will be of benefit to this that we are launching. If you go to our social media pages anytime from now, you will see that we have partnered with a UK-based company, and we are going to have an African Business Concept Challenge that will run virtually for 6 weeks. And by the virtue that you are KESA members, you are allowed to take part in the business challenge that will run virtually for 6 weeks. And the winner will get a cash prize of $5,000 and hopefully a UK trip 3 months later. So we are looking forward. It's an African Business Concept Challenge. So be very sure to follow us on our social media platforms, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, YouTube, so that you be updated on what is happening with regards to KESA. As you have heard from our various partners and guests, we are also seeking to see the sustainability of the projects that have been showcased today. And so the campus representatives still present, we'd love to have a debrief with you shortly at the VIP entrance, so as to further the conversation of how sustainable our projects will be, other than just showcasing them here for one day and they elapse that way. We want them to be incubated, we want them to be nurtured, and we want to see the practicality of those projects. And so as a national umbrella, we are also really happy that most of us, if not all, found time to be here. And in 1 month, we are launching official registration of KESA, and we will do the official launching of the association once we put some parameters in place. And just to mention to you, there is also a launch that is coming soon of the Economists Society of Kenya, ESK. So also be on the watch, because we are as KESA stakeholders, and if you are stakeholders, that puts you directly as a part of it. And so we urge you to be part of us so that we can be part of you. As we come to this conclusion, we wish you well, we wish you journey mercies back to your universities. We look forward to more trainings and more engagements in your campuses and even beyond, so that we foster the art of economics in each and every individual. Otherwise, God be with you. Your certificates are being sorted just at the entrance, so you need not to worry about that. All right, you know why our communications director is here with us? Because he wants to tell us who has done how many tweets or how many likes for the day. He disappeared somewhere in between, but I know he'll be here anytime from now, because he was trying to check through with our social media pages on what has really transpired qua ground. We also join hands in congratulating. The awards are there, not that the awards are not there. We also join hands in congratulating those who've exhibited, and we look forward to working with you the journey. Those that have not found time, we look forward to hosting you better and giving us better memories next time. Other than that, as our communications director comes, if you feel you've retweeted enough, we'll be confirming. I know he's disappeared to check on that. We wish you well. May our good Lord be with you. May he protect you. May he guide you as we set back to our various institutions. Let us all around